Thank you for joining us for the How You Got Started podcast, where we help you find your passion by sharing stories from entrepreneurs that are living theirs. Today, we're speaking with Leanne from YOUtopia, that's YOUtopia, and she owns a medical spa in Fergus, Ontario, where she helps you look and feel your best inside and out. Thank you so much, Leanne, for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be a part of this wonderful journey and adventure you're on with podcasts.
To get started, share with us how you got started. What's your origin story?
So I've always been in love with the concept that when you look and feel your best self, you give the best version of yourself to everybody else. And I've been an RN, so a registered nurse, for a long time. I'm going to age for 20 years. And I'm from the UK, you can tell by my accent. So I qualified in 2004. And my career has enabled me to travel to lots of different countries, New Zealand, BC, Canada, and now I'm in Ontario. My background was surgical nursing, stepped down ICU units, did some palliative care, professional practice, and I was involved in mentoring of new staff. So I've had a huge variety of different roles, but I always loved plastic surgery and had a passion for just helping people to look and feel their best inside and out. So I myself had suffered from migraines for many years, and I wasn't unable to take some of the medications due to having low blood pressure, and I did not do well with them. So a doctor in BC suggested I try Botox. So it was phenomenal at helping my migraines, and then I also obviously got the added benefit of addressing the fine lines and wrinkles that I got started. That was in my 20s. And when I felt better and obviously had a lot more confidence, so I decided I needed to start looking into that career path as well.
What are some of the services you provide?
So we have lots of different services here now. I have an esthetician that works alongside me now, so there's two of us, and then there is another lady in the spa that rents her room, but she has her own business. So in the spa itself, we offer eyebrow threading, Indian head massages. I typically do all the injectables, so derma fillers, anti-wrinkle injections, vitamin B12 shots, IV vitamin drips. I absolutely love anything to do with skin health and skincare, so I offer skincare consultations. We do medical grade facials, which is Courtney, our esthetician. We have laser hair removal, IPL, photo facials. I'm trying to do lots, huge list of different things that we offer now. Chemical peels, and we're always growing and expanding, and based on, to meet the customer's needs and what we get asked about a lot.
What was the deciding factor? What helped you say, you know what, I'm starting my business, it's time?
I think the deciding factor with me was I was exhausted from lots of years of shift work in the nursing career. I still love nursing, and I do still work 2 days a week at a local hospital, but I really wanted to make my passion come true, and I just was so determined to make that happen and show my girls that you can just follow your dreams and pursue them. If we dream it, we can achieve it. We just have to put the effort in. So I knew I was ready. So I started looking into different business names, into different spaces and areas to rent locally that I could start doing my part-time initially when I first started.
That's something I hear, is that when I've spoken with some small business owners, they do whatever they can to make their passion work. They'll work 9 to 5 with their passion job and then sling pizzas in the afternoon, but they'll just do whatever they can to do the thing that they love.
Yeah.
How quickly was it for you that you realized, oh, this is working? Like I can do this.
So I rented initially, and I'll always be grateful to that person. I rented a room above a salon in town here. It was a small room, 8 by 10 room. I started there, and I was working in the day and then doing this in the evenings and then at the weekends. So I was again working long hours, but I was loving it. I was getting to meet my new clients and forming them relationships, and it was just getting busier and busier. So I knew I had to. It was time to make a change. So then I dropped down to part-time at the hospital and started focusing more on building the business.
Amazing.
And the space I quickly outgrew. So then I had to look for a new location.
This location is beautiful. I love the exposed brick.
Yes, thank you. It was a lot of work. When we first moved in here, everything was peach and green. There was walls everywhere. It was a lot of renovating and a lot of hours, long hours spent renovating. I couldn't have done it all without the help of my partner, Dana, who is my best friend and biggest supporter and biggest cheerleader. So he was here endless hours getting this all ready to open for me. So I'm truly grateful to him.
Can you tell me what a typical day looks like for you when you wake up to the time you go to bed? What does that look like?
I could lie and tell you that I set my alarm every morning and go to the gym, but that's not I try. I set my alarm typically early, and every time it goes off at 5 o'clock, I snooze for a little bit. So I do need to get back to the gym, but I typically get up in the morning, have my coffee, prep at home for the day for food for my family, prep what we're having for supper and everything, get ready, and then I'm typically here by 9:30 on the full days that I'm here. And then I work typically till about 8 o'clock at night here, and then it involves clients, starting, processing orders. I'm here for 3 full days, and then I will do some evenings the days I'm not here, and then fit people in when I can.
Wow. So do you feel like you're working long hours or does it not feel that way?
When I'm here, I absolutely love being here, and I love to meet new people, and I obviously love to see my existing clients too. It's long because I still do the 2 days a week at the hospital, so I'm kind of back and forth trying to juggle the two. I do get asked a lot if I am leaving the hospital for good. And I have to be 100% honest with you, I've been a nurse for a long time, and I'm still very passionate about nursing as well. So I would still like to do both. It's becoming harder, especially with this business growing and growing, and it's becoming harder, but I don't know if I can give up the bedside nursing and helping and being there, feeling I'm making a difference just yet.
What advice would you give for anyone wanting to get into the injection world?
I would say the biggest one is there's a lot of other injectors out there, more and more actually opening their doors and coming into this business. It's thriving, but social media is a big part of our world. And with social media, as we know, comes easy to compare yourself to others. And we can get in our own head sometimes and have self-negative thoughts. And it's easy to start thinking, oh, they're doing that, I should do that. I'm not as good as them, they're doing this. So I think it's easy to fall under that trap. And you really have to stay focused, because we are all unique in our own ways. We all have different skill sets, different expertise, different strengths, and definitely different personalities. So we have to be able to just stay on our own focus and not compare ourselves to others. That was the biggest one, I would say. And I would say the second one is don't do everything all at once. Everything costs a lot of money, machines cost a lot of money, but perfect your skill in one area first. Become proficient in that and an expert in that before you start moving on too quickly.
What would you say your girls, since you have 2 girls, what would you say they would say about you now that you're doing this passion career versus what you were doing in the past?
So having your own business is completely different.
Yes.
It also is a lot of work behind the scenes as well. So not just being here when I go home, it's also a lot of work. And it's completely new to me. So I'm trying with that side of things. They see me probably working more now than when I used to go to the hospital. You would do your shifts and then you'd be home. So yeah, they probably see me working more now.
Okay. And in terms of your energy level, would you say it's the same? Like, are you exhausted, or do they see you as a happier mom?
I think they see that I also have I have a lot of fun. I do crazy reels, and I've become, Instagram Instagram mom, I should say. So they laugh about that. I have a teenager, so her and her friends think it's hilarious. So they know I'm having fun. They know I'm doing something that I absolutely love. So they support that. And my oldest is 17, so she actually did say to me that she's proud.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing about living your passion, is that you get to show your children that it's okay and that you're worth it, right? And that's the beautiful thing. So that's great that you took that step and you kept going and kept pushing. What are some of the obstacles that you faced that you had to get through in order to be where you are today?
So I would say you have to step outside your comfort zone. And you have to do things that are completely new that you've never done before. I was not fazed at all about the hands-on side of things, injecting skincare, because I'm so passionate about them. That's training. I've took lots of courses. I continue to take lots of courses. So those things I absolutely love, and I could see people all day. It's the opposite side of things, the bookkeeping side of things, keeping track. I'm not techie at all, so the technology, Instagram is a huge part of it, marketing is a huge part. So there are a lot of things that you have to really get your head around, and it's a lot.
What are some of the things you're doing to help you with that? You mentioned the course that you're doing on.
Yeah, so I take for the hands-on side of things. So becoming more skilled in, obviously, and advancing what I do here. Treatment-wise, I'm always attending new courses, and going on training sessions. The business side of things, I have just joined the Guelph Business Centre. So they're putting on a program that's 16 weeks in total, but 8 weeks in person. To look at the business side of things and see where your areas of weakness are and help to build up that.
What are you really looking forward to? What's coming up that's something that you're excited about?
The Guelph Women's Shelter, of course, is dear to my heart. So we're having an event at the end of this month with some other local business ladies who are all amazing. And donations will all be for the Women's Shelter in Guelph.
Wonderful. Is that the Marianne's place?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And then you're talking about the Guelph Wellington Women in Crisis.
Yeah.
Here in Guelph. Yeah, they are a lovely group of people.
Yeah.
And what a wonderful cause. And they have so many wonderful things like Marianne's Place, and where they offer, legal support, housing, counseling for women in crisis or being abused in all different types of forms of abuse. So that's amazing.
I always say to people, if I hadn't had my career and wasn't able to support myself and my two girls financially, I would have been in a whole different situation, because I didn't have family here in Canada. So the local shelter that was in Collingwood, I finally saw a house, and I donated a lot of items to them. And it just was very eye-opening to see how full they were and how many women and children were in their shelter at the time. And the same in our local shelters here. So there's lots of ladies that either weren't allowed to have careers, or they just never had the time to, go to get the schooling and have the education. So I feel fortunate that I can help and give back. So
that is lovely. How has the tough times that you've been through, how's that changed and made you who you are today?
So I think they only make you stronger. I think you don't know how strong you can be until you've sometimes had to go through those really moments to bring yourself and pull yourself up again. So I think it made me stronger, it made me more determined, especially to not to just prove to myself, but to prove to my two girls that you can do anything you put your mind to, and nothing can stop you or get in your way as long as you stay focused and you believe that. And I think not just my relationship history. During COVID, the hospital I work at took over a local nursing home, and they asked if anybody was interested in going to help, and I volunteered to go and run the clinical side of things. So I was there for 16 weeks. It was rough. We did lose 21 residents while I was there for COVID. A lot of the staff ended up getting sick, so it was some long hours. But those staff there kept me going. We worked so well as a team, but never in my experience as a nurse have I witnessed somebody having to pass away without any family members or anything. So there's been a lot. And I look at that and think life is definitely too short. Anything can happen in any moment. COVID, I think, opened a lot of people's eyes, and it made people want to live more, and just enjoy life more. When that gets taken away from you like it did during COVID, you really realize how valuable life is, and we need to do our best to help each other and be kind, and just keep going. I have been at rock bottom where my cup was empty, and if your cup is empty, you can't pour from an empty cup. So it took a lot to refine myself again, and start loving myself again. So I know how it feels when you're down and you don't love yourself, and we're hard on ourselves and we lose our confidence. So I think we've just got to work on what makes us happy, whether that be getting your hair done, getting your nails done, coming to see me. Just do whatever makes you happy, and whatever fills your cup and makes you feel better, because we can't give the world the best of us if there's nothing left of us.
Wonderful. And you said it's very important to love yourself. How do you do that? How do you get to that point where you fully accept who you are and all of the good and the bad, and love yourself?
So self-love to me means, being able to fully accept yourself and treating yourself with kindness and respect, and nurturing your growth and well-being, because we're always on a journey of self-improvement and building out the self-love for ourselves. I think we all have to accept our own uniqueness. We all have different body types, we all have different skin types, we all have different eyes, different noses, and that's what makes us unique. So instead of focusing on our flaws, we need to start focusing on those areas of ourselves that make us who we are, and start loving them, and every day telling ourselves that we love who we are, and embracing that so that we can grow and build our confidence. I think we also have to not feel guilty about practicing self-care, because self-care is very important. We can't look after everybody else and not take care of ourselves, because then we're just going to exhaust ourselves. So it's not selfish, it's necessary to your health and well-being. And I think we really have to start focusing on what makes us happy and doing everything that makes us happy as well.
Where do you get that? Where do you get that passion to keep trying? Where does that come from?
I think my children are a big part of that. This podcast going to make me cry. My children make me keep focused and keep going. We've been through a lot together, and I could have easily given up at one time. I did want to give up. I didn't want to wake up. I didn't want to in the morning. It was tough, but they were relying on me, and I have two beautiful girls that needed me. So I just got up and said, "This is enough. I got to get back at it, show them how to be strong as a female, and we can do whatever we set out to achieve, and we have to keep going."
Absolutely. Children are such a blessing in our lives, and it sounds like you're a blessing in theirs.
Thank you. I have the support now of a wonderful man And I have to be a believer in people come into your life either for a lesson or a blessing. So my past obviously was definitely a lesson, and Dana has been a blessing to me and my girls, and a huge support of everything I do. And again, he's helped me get the spa up and running. While I'm here working long hours at night, he's at home looking after the girls, getting the dinner ready, prepping, taking them to their sports. So we're definitely a great team, and I'm very thankful for him.
Do you have a life philosophy that you want to share?
I think if you can dream it, you can achieve it. I think you can look and feel your best at any age. Age is just a number. And I always say now, and even my children say this now, if you don't build your dream, somebody else is going to hire you to build theirs.
Interesting. And you said you had more. Do you want to share anything else?
That's a few, right?
What would your customers say about you?
I would say that they would say I'm very honest, and I'm very kind. I really do care about them. And their families. I like to hear all about, their families and what they love to do in their spare time. So we form good relationships. A lot of my clients have become friends. I think they would say I'm a little quirky. What you see is typically what you get. So I do like to have a lot of fun. Hence my crazy Instagram reels that I like to do every now and again.
You had a story about your Instagram. Tell us again.
I won't name his name, but there is a local businessman in town that is very prim and proper. I like to say he doesn't speak a lot. He's very reserved, but he's well respected in town. And I didn't even know that he followed me until recently. I was walking downtown and he said, "Leanne," and I said, "Yes." And he said, "You haven't done a reel for a while. I like those reels. The crazy ones where you're dancing, they make me smile." So I obviously need to do a new one because...
yeah, I have seen them and they're hilarious. They're awesome.
I feel, life's too short. And we care typically a lot. We care too much about what others think of us. And it holds us back from doing the things that we want to do. So I always say to people, life's short. You got to live it. And just be yourself.
Yeah. And find what brings you joy. Because when you are following joy, you get to share that joy with the world. What would you suggest that I have done?
So,
that's a loaded question.
No, I actually will. When somebody comes into me, I actually will never say what you need.
Okay.
We have huge body dysmorphia in our industry, so we have to be very careful how we word things and how we speak to people. So I typically ask people what their concerns are. What concerns you? And then we'll come up with a customized treatment plan from there. I never will tell somebody that they need this, or do.
Okay. I've never had any injectables, and I'm a little bit nervous about it. What advice would you give to someone who is either hesitant or not too sure?
I would ask you what makes you feel nervous about it. Is it the needles?
Yes.
Okay. So the needles, the pain. You're worried about the pain.
I don't know. I don't necessarily. Maybe the pain, but there's something about a needle.
Okay.
And the idea of needle going in my skin that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
So I typically show people the size of the needle. I think people think they're going to be, big. So it's actually a BD insulin needle that we use, so very small. So I like to show people things before we go into that. And I have stress balls here and give you a little
that's good.
fidget toys to play with if you need to.
Is there numbing done or not really?
Not really for
Okay.
If we do derma fillers, yes, lip fillers and things, but not typically for Botox.
Okay, and how would you compare the pain of getting injectables to, say, getting waxed?
Actually,
a good gauge for me.
Yes, I think waxing is a lot more painful.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Okay, just curious. All right.
I think you're tough if you do waxing.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today. It has been absolutely wonderful. You're a wonderful human being to speak with, and you can see that you love what you do and that you're bringing that joy to your customers and everyone you meet, even the man on the street.
Thank
you for watching your reels. Is there anything else you'd like to share, or maybe give us those details again about that event that's coming up at the end of the month?
Yeah, so the date will be November the 30th. We think we've just got a location finally settled. So the social media side of things, the details of the time and who's going to be presenting will be coming out this week. So you can stay tuned for those, and we'll be making it public knowledge. And there'll be 5 other presenters, so should be fun.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And thank you so much for joining. Please remember that the Hugs discount for today is Hugs You. That's Hugs YOU. And Leanne is giving 10% off all of her services. So you just have to share the discount code with her, and that's valid until January 31st. Thank you so much for joining, and see you next time.